Welcome back, my dear students. In this occasion, continuing with section 1.8, perimeter, circumference, and area, we are going to continue explaining problem number 4, finding area of a rectangle. Okay? In the problem exposed by the textbook on page 62, problem number 4, we have that we have the intention, according to the indications, to make a banner. And the measurements for the banner are supposed to be 2.5 feet in base and 5 feet in height. Okay, the book explains it in a certain way, but here in this video I'm going to be explaining it in two ways. First way, as it is in a textbook. Okay, here they start calculating what is width, and the width will be represented by a 2.5. 2.5, they transform it into fraction, where we know that that would be an improper fraction with a base of 2, and then we will have to multiply. That would be multiplying 2 times 2, 4, plus 1, right, to turn this into an improper fraction. So you have then that the width of 5 half of feet, okay, is supposed to be then, according to the textbook and the explanation there, we are going to transform feet to yards. As you remember from unit conversion, even there is a set of videos related to unit conversion in an early page here in the blog. We have that if I want to transform feet as it is here to yards, I will have, first of all, I will need a unit in the denominator that will help me simplify feet, and then from there I can go directly from feet to yard. I know that 1 yard contains 3 feet, so then I just do a simple unit conversion where I can just multiply the numerators, and that will be 5 times 1, that will be 5, and then 3 times 2, that will be 6. So then I will have, because this feet unit has been simplified here, my unit will be given in yards. The same thing is done with the height, right? The height, which was represented by 5 feet, now will be transformed to yards, where I need feet and feet in the denominator, so I can simplify it, and from there to yard I can go directly in one step, where I know that 1 yard contains 3 feet. Then I would just have to multiply. I know that whenever I have a whole number, like here in 5, in order to transform a whole number to a fraction, I can just add a denominator 1 here. So 5 times 1 is 5, and 1 times 3 is 3. So now my unit is given by yards. That was not simplified. So now I have both of my units for width and height in yards. There's a simpler way to do it. I'll be doing it in the right after this. So we have then that the formula for area is given by base times height. So I will just have to replace. So for base, I will have that my base is represented by my width, right, which I already transformed here. So I will use 5 times 6 is 5/6, a fraction here, and then height is given by height right here, where I already have it in yards, and then in this case I just multiply 5 times 5, 25, and 6 times 3, 18. So then I will have that this unit, I could, because it's an improper fraction, I can divide 25 into 18. That will be a whole, the same denominator as we have here, and then the remainder will be the difference of 7. So that's basically how it is done in your textbook. That we could, according to this, if we transform this, or if we divide 25 into 18, if we were to divide 25 into 18, we also get 1.3888, which will be given in yards. Another way to do this same problem would be, in my case, I would just do it this way. Even if the problem asks me to turn it in yards at the end, I would use my formula, area base times height. I will use the same unit as it is. I just have to be sure that both of them have the same unit. So in this case, they are the same unit. If they were different units, then I would have to turn them both into one same unit. So they could be, let's say, speaking the same language, right? As we explained in class. So we have then that I will use this as base and this as height. So you have 2.5. For me, I would turn that into a fraction, into a decimal, sorry, with its unit. And then I would turn this is a whole number with its unit, just as it is, feet. So then this multiplication will be 12.5, right, for area, and this would be square feet. Okay, if I want to transform this, if the problem requests me to turn this into yards, then in that case I will take this number here, right, and I do what I already learned for unit conversion, but in this case for square unit, because this is square units, then that means that when I use my square unit, I know that feet and feet, in order for me to be able to simplify, but it needs to be in square. And then yards, right, also has to be in squares, because this unit is in square now. After multiplying here and here, remember that whenever it doesn't have a number, one dimension and one dimension here, this multiply and they add up to make 2 dimensions. So area, remember that area is a 2-dimensional figure. So when we get here now, we have that 1 yard. We know that 1 yard equals 3 feet. That's when we're working in 1 dimension, meaning without squares. But when I'm working with squares, the secret here, excuse me, the secret here is that if you're working with squares, it will be the same units that you already work in 1 dimension. But the only thing is that you have to elevate that unit to its square. So how would I do that? I know that the square for 1 is 1, and I know that the square for 3 is what? 3. I'm sorry, 9. So when I divide this, I will have to multiply this times this. That'll be 12.5 times 1, and then divided by 9, and I have then my unit as 1.388. Given, because these 2 units have been simplified here, then given in what? In square yards. You can test it with your calculators, and remember to practice. I just explained 2 ways in which you could do the same problem. That is problem number 4 from your geometry textbook, page 62. Remember to practice. Take care. See you in class. Bye.